just testing this.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Shut the Front Door podcast, brought to you by Harvey Goodman Realtor. This is the Real Talk About Real Estate podcast, the special Valentine's Day edition, and we are now live. So, Scott, welcome back. It's been too long, my man.
It's definitely been too long, man. It's great to be back.
Yeah. So, anyways, we are talking about real estate and the real estate industry and the, call it dating industry, or just dating in general, and the parallels that we find ourselves in on a daily basis. And this gets a little bit funny.
Now, to be clear, neither of us, thankfully, are still in the dating world.
Well, not that Beth knows about. But I'm just kidding. Don't kill me, Beth.
You're braver than I am.
Once you meet Beth's boyfriend, you'll understand. He's a really nice guy.
Well, I have questioned her judgment in men, so she did better that time around.
Maybe.
So our title, Zillow Catfished Me.
Yes.
Which I think is tremendous.
It's so good.
So we've all had that experience. Well, we haven't, but a lot of buyers have had that experience where you go to Zillow, you look at the pictures, it looks great, you click the button requesting more information, and it doesn't work out very well for various reasons, right?
Well, the number of times that buyers have walked in and said, this looks nothing like the pictures. I mean, when you hire a listing agent, I always tell my buyers and even my sellers, but you hire us to sell the sizzle, not the steak. Right. So we try to, I don't want to say puff things up, but we don't want to make it, anyways, no one has ever said, take the ugliest photo of my house ever. So yeah, it's not uncommon to hear, catfishing is a hilarious title, but yeah, you call someone, you call the first, when you click for more information, you just get the random pick of the draw, whoever gets your number.
Yeah, so it's actually worse than dating, right? Because at least in a dating app, you get to swipe right on the ones you wish, right?
Right.
When you click send more info on Zillow, you get the next 5 random dudes on the list.
Yeah, you just anybody, because when something's free, you're the product.
That's exactly right.
So you're sold. And
so just to be clear, when a buyer clicks on that get more info button, what happens is Zillow sells their information to the highest bidder, and it's usually multiple highest bidders. And so imagine a dating app where you really had no idea who you were going to get. You just happened to, whoever calls you first is going to be your date.
Right.
That's a little scary.
That's terrifying. And then you could be stuck with that person if the changes in the industry. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But the industry just runs so in parallel with all of this, especially like catfishing is a good one. But
it does.
The amount of time that people ask for feedback and the finding a dream. I always tell people you have to see. Like, no one ever comes in and buys the first house they ever look at.
Well, right? you got to date a few frogs before you find the prince.
You have to see what works. You have to see what doesn't work to appreciate the ones that will. Right.
Yeah, so you go on that first date, and maybe the reality doesn't quite match the picture like it did. Maybe there's an odd smell you weren't expecting,
which happens all the time.
It happens all the time. Maybe things just weren't quite like how they were promised.
Yeah.
But then eventually you find the one that is a great fit. Mm-hmm. But it is kind of the same idea. I think again the misconception is when you click that button, you're going to get the listing agent. The truth is you're going to get some random agent who may be a good fit, but chances are is not. And you really should be more careful who you swipe right on. Right.
Yeah, especially if you're signing buyer rep agreements again now with the changes in the industry, because now you're committing to something.
That's exactly right.
The number of people that don't, I want to say, verify who they're about to work with or who they commit to. It's terrifying.
So again, in the dating app, typically there's at least a bit of a chat that happens before you,
right.
before you
That's what I'm saying.
right?
Yeah. Why? So I'm trying to parallel this and to say, I'm not asking you to date me, but I mean, at least ask me some questions. pick your top 5. Like what you must have.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you're suggesting that the real estate industry is worse than the online dating industry?
We need a Bumble for the real estate. We need realtor.bumble.com. Something of...
I think this is a terrible idea.
This is perfect.
But the truth is it can be a lot better because there are ways to do it where you do actually get to pick who your agent's going to be.
Right.
And you can ask questions about experience and expertise and so on. And that's, of course, what we recommend, which is the opposite of going to one of the major sites, realtor.com, Zillow, hitting the big red button, and then hoping the guy you get doesn't smell bad.
Right. Or knows what they're doing.
Or knows what they're doing, right.
More importantly.
So we just came out of Valentine's Day. Did you guys have any fun Valentine's experiences?
We did a little bit of a staycation. Tough man. We went to.
Oh, did you go?
My old glory days.
Yeah,
we did a little.
For anyone who doesn't know, Johnny, 2012.
2012.
Tough man, Ohio Valley.
And there's now a second realtor that has two champion jackets. That let's just say I'm glad I'm not in it anymore.
So you're not thinking about coming out of retirement next year?
I'm a wrecking ball, not a wrecking machine.
I know I wouldn't fight you. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Of course, with my 50-year-old back, I wouldn't last very long either.
Anyways, yeah, but we had a little bit of just stayed around the Ohio Valley. What about you?
We went to our very favorite Mexican restaurant, which is just.
I did. You know what? I did see that. In fact, I watched that. We were sitting together, and she heard the theme music, and she said, "I want." She said, "I want Mexican," and I showed her the video, and she got jealous.
So we have this problem, Denny and I do, where no matter what happens, we're talking about dinner, and we might be on like an eating plan. We're trying to be really good and cut out all the bad stuff and get in shape and whatnot. As soon as one of us mentions Mexican, it's game over.
Yeah,
like we're probably having Mexican tonight,
now, right?
Because that's what's going to happen. Right, it's all it takes.
It's been embedded.
We have no willpower.
Right.
But we have a little hole in the wall place we love to go to that's just fantastic, and it's never disappoints for sure.
I go to Chipotle so often, and forgive me. I think her name is Justine. If she ever watches this podcast or sees it, as soon as I walk in, they don't even ask me my order. I swear to you, if we're they walk in, they just know what it is and they hand it to me. They're awesome.
And now I'm going to have Chipotle for lunch. Thanks, man.
We'll go. I'll go with you.
We do that.
Well, I'll prove it to you. Walk in, I bet you. Watch. So let's do it after this.
I don't doubt you at all. But see, Chipotle is just like real estate, isn't it? Because you walk in and you're presented a menu of options.
Right.
So Chipotle is like the opposite of the online dating world. You get to actually see everything in real life.
You get to pick.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not a picture of the fajita veggies or the brisket, right?
Right.
It's you're actually going to see what you get.
Right.
And so that's way better than the online dating or going to Zillow because you don't have to worry about it. You can't get catfished at Zillow because the stuff's right in front of you.
I'm just saying I would be terrified of each at this point. Online dating, if I had to start over again or if I had to buy another house,
well, if you need to buy a house, we can take care of you on that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know a good agent. But no, they're each equally terrifying in their own right.
They really are. They really are. And so the message out there to the buyers is if you are house shopping, do your research, look around online, but be very selective in who you decide to form a relationship with. And you're going to form a relationship with your buyer's agent, right? That's how it works. We're going to get to know each other.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. We're going to spend a couple of months getting to know each other and help you with the most important purchase of your life. And so, you don't just swipe right on anyone.
What about the selling side?
So on the selling side, you alluded to this earlier, that we do get a lot of grief sometimes because the pictures don't quite match reality. Now, we're not in the business of catfishing. However, I often say that when I'm taking pictures of my listing, I'm not making a documentary, right?
Right.
My job is to make the house look as good as I can. That's what the seller hired me for. Now, we're never deceptive about it. We don't Photoshop stuff out. We don't hide.
We're not allowed to.
Yeah, we're not alled to. We don't do that.
However, that's one thing that we have the dating industry doesn't have.
It's true. There's no code of ethics.
Yeah.
I don't think I want any parts of the Tinder code of ethics.
Yeah.
No thanks. But we are bound by the code of ethics, and we have to present an honest picture of the house. But what we will do every time is optimize every way we can. We will 100% take the best angle, get the best lighting, show the best side of the house every single time we can.
Yeah. Hey, Charlie, I'm just now seeing your Instagram comment, but I didn't know this is your idea. We never talked about it. We're gonna do a follow-up episode of this.
Yeah. So Charlie says, our I was their favorite home inspector. We're not allowed to have a favorite home inspector.
He's up there. He's a recurring guest. I don't have an issue with saying Charlie's. He's on my top tier.
But he does say that he says, love how you stole my idea, but I'm going to let you run with it.
Yeah.
I had no idea this was Charlie's idea.
Neither did I. We were doing a Valentine's Day special, and we're just doing a pun of it. But what would I bid on you? Would you bid on me? I certainly would, my man. We'll go golfing.
I would not swipe right on Charlie.
I beg to differ. Charlie is a catch. Anyway. But yeah, on the selling side, we get these questions all the time. I'm asking for feedback, and when we don't get it, because some agents just don't leave it, or it's just they get too busy, or the answer to your question about feedback is in the question itself. If you have to keep asking, are they interested? Are they interested? Again, it's like dating. Or what is? Here we go. So the question: are you allowed to virtually stage a house? I see that sometimes. Yes, we are, but we have to disclose that it's been virtually staged as well. So again, if I were to enhance my Photoshop and give me some abs and muscles, if I don't put a disclaimer behind it, it's just
So yet another difference is you can do some editing in MLS photos, but you do have to right on the photo say this is virtually staged.
Right.
You don't have to do that on Tinder.
No, that's not right. So
you can draw on a six pack if you want to.
Yeah, the gloves come off at that point. So we're bound a little bit, but yeah, it's so eerily similar to how we can draw that distinction between having to go through all this hardship and all this anguish to appreciate the ones that actually do work for a buyer or even a seller. We're matchmakers at the end of the day. We really are.
We really are. That's what the job is. And the good news is in real estate, the payoff is you get the home of your dreams. Hopefully, we help you with the largest financial transaction of your life, and you don't have to worry about having your heart broken or wasting time with a dude who looks nothing like his pictures.
Right. Yeah, and that's Charlie. That's where you come in, my man. That's where the inspections come in to make sure that you're kind of like the PI, the detective here, to uncover some of this baggage.
Now there is an elephant in the room that we have to talk about,
which is how
old is your headshot?
Oh my God! Since the day it is, I bet my headshot. If everyone wants to look, I had hair. That's why I always wear this hat.
Yeah, I had someone emailed me some promotional stuff we're working on with my headshot on it yesterday, and I looked at it. My first response was, "Man, I need a new headshot."
My headshot is at least a decade old.
So there is a slight element of that in our world.
But I don't pass out my business cards anymore. Everything's online.
Well, what's your online headshot look like?
Okay, I
I
need to update my dating profile too.
No, you don't. No, you don't. But the good news is we're not trying to date you. We're just trying to be your agent. And
my Tinder profile is more current.
And I would say that you and our headshots are probably a little more accurate than some agents.
I would think.
Yeah, I would know.
I've aged like George Costanza, but I don't think I've changed too much. I've had less hair is really what it turns into.
There's a problem we have sometimes because we mostly talk to other agents over phone or over text, really.
Right.
And so we'll go through 6 or 7 months before we see someone, and then we'll go to some realtor event. And all these people are there, you don't recognize any of them. Because none of us look anything like our headshots.
I've never even thought of that.
It's true all the time.
It is so true.
I run into people at Walmart, and I'm like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And then I realize, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's it.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Right? It's so true. I would rather a client be pleasantly surprised that the house looked better in person than on pictures. Sometimes if the photos look too good, she knows she knows her lines. It can be frustrating. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see. I got it all squinted up here.
Yeah, we've had that experience.
Yeah.
Buyers get there and actually can make a showing go south.
Oh, I didn't. I could see it right there even better. It's more clear.
The heck was that?
I don't know. Someone disagrees. But you're right, Charlie. Yeah, I would rather them be more surprised in person. But you do get that from time to time.
Occasionally.
I would say it's more frequent the other way around just because of, again, the glamour shots. And I don't know, you can't smell a picture. Like if you have a dog smell in the house, there's not much.
I've seen some pictures I can smell.
Oh yeah, Charlie, your TikTok, man. Some of the stuff that we had on there that we were talking about, the stuff that we get into. I mean, I know that you got some horror stories from some of the inspections that you've been on and some of the stuff that we've talked about. So, you know exactly what this is like.
Yeah, for sure. So what are you seeing in the market right now?
Condition-wise, this is the best year I've ever had as a first quarter of a year, bar none. And we predicted this. We talked about this.
We did.
Not even more than last quarter, maybe the third, anywhere between October and November. I can't remember what it was, but this is our prediction: is that the neck, that the election and all the anxiety that was leading up to it was about to break loose.
I noticed. So we were as quiet as I've ever seen through December. Into the first of the year, maybe to the second week of January, and then it's like somebody flipped a switch.
Right.
And the phone started ringing. I was noticing that we weren't getting showings on our listings at all. Like even other agents weren't showing them. And then like one day, it's a flip, and it happens every year. We should know to expect it. The flip gets switched, and the John.
I'm trying to read it.
Yeah, Charlie distracts us.
Yeah.
The flip gets switched, the phone starts ringing, showings start happening, offers start coming in, and it happened just like it always does. So as of right now, we're jamming along, got listings coming in. I know you're off to a great start this year.
Yeah.
Things are picking up for me as well. So we expect it to be a great year, no doubt about it.
Yeah, without question. And like I said, it's nice to see that this, I always worry about how well some of these podcasts age, especially our clips that we put there out there. But yeah, none of our houses, I like to, thanks, Charlie, that's high praise. But we work at anybody,
Absolutely.
It's not, I have had listings that I have affectionately referred to as organic architecture because the hole in the roof was allowing rain to come in. And that's what Frank Lloyd Wright would have called. We know what we're getting into.
Absolutely.
We sell fixer-uppers. We sell like brand new construction. We do it all. We just have to align again the vision. We're matchmakers. At the end of the day, This is just, it's no dating or no different than, a kind of a glorified dating service, except again, more paperwork, less commitment, as the title says.
There was one year a couple years ago that I actually had the lowest sale of the year and the highest sale.
Right, yeah. And I've had that distinguished title, not the highest. I've had 1 year. No, I've had the highest sale once before in the company, not simultaneously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we both have those.
I think I had an $8,000 sale.
I had a $4,800 sale before, and not on a piece of ground. We're talking property, right? The house, remember?
Nice.
Yeah. So we certainly crossed that bridge. I think Mick might have one coming up that is in contention. For him and we'll talk about that off camera, but
for sure.
Yeah, that's a good property for him.
All right, man. Well, sure is great to be back.
Yeah. Stay tuned if you guys are watching. We are revamping. If you can't tell from this is all going to change. Still, we got a whole bunch of other things that we're going to be doing a merger with more highlights. Charlie, you're still more than welcome. We talked about teaming up and doing a podcast together. We are revamping this whole space. So still on Spotify. I'll get it.
Big things on the horizon, that's all.
Right. Still on Spotify. Best thing you can do to support our small business, follow, share.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Get the word out. Follow us on Spotify. That's really where we're trying to grow. And if you haven't seen the YouTube sub goal, we wanted to be at 500 by May. We're 8 away.
8 away.
we started this at the beginning of the year. We were less than 200, so we have grown.
That's amazing.
It's really good. So we're still optimistic. Yeah, the year's looking very, very bright all the way around.
Awesome.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Take care.